With math skills I hear, we can't go wrong. Dean and Katie, the mods on the team, keeping the chat clean, like a shining beam. They're the backbone of the channel, always by our side. Together we're united, through every game and stride. In the World of Warcraft, our joy is complete. When that skills and his community, we can't be beat. From hidden in dungeons to PvP mayhem, we're the best that found, rocking the game and anthem.
I can't feel my legs. Where is my alive? Holy shit. What the fuck? I literally looked at it and I died.
Grinding keys, we rise and shine. Let community on the path to climb. Pushing boundaries, never gonna stop. Mythic plus runs, we reach the top. Dungeons and bosses, a challenge we crave. Slaying monsters with fearless and brave. 1 to 15, we conquer each stage. In Mythic plus, we're all the rage. Body's depleted, but we feel alive. Pushing limits, we strive to strive. From low to high, we're always on the go. The thrill of the chase, it makes us glow.
Jesus Christ! Huge moth here. Man, it's okay, dude. Okay, dude. I'm out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Embrace your core. Embrace your belly muscles. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's enough. 7. Oh my god, this is more than I thought. Oh my god.
Call the hospital.
He's dead. Like a raccoon that would potentially kill you.
Hey there.
Special thanks to Dean and KVN for providing me the clips, and for every pleb community members, subscribe to Matt Skills on YouTube.
When that skill starts streaming, we all gather around, happy and excited, ready to throw it down. We're part of the pleb community, our love is strong. With math skills I hear, we can't go wrong. Dean and Katie, the mods on the team, keeping the chat clean, like a shining beam. They're the backbone of the channel, always by our side. Together we're united, through every game and stride. In the World of Warcraft, our joy is complete. When that skills and his community, we can't be beat. From hidden in dungeons to PvP mayhem, we're the best that found, rocking the game and anthem.
I can't feel my legs. Where is my alive? Holy shit. What the fuck? I literally looked at it and I died.
Grinding keys, we rise and shine. Let community on the path to climb. Pushing boundaries, never gonna stop. Mythic plus runs, we reach the top. Dungeons and bosses, a challenge we crave. Slaying monsters with fearless and brave. 1 to 15, we conquer each stage. In Mythic plus, we're all the rage. depleted, but we feel alive. Pushing limits, we strive to strive. From low to high, we're always on the go. The thrill of the chase, it makes us glow.
Jesus Christ! Huge moth here. It's okay, dude. Okay, dude. I'm out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Embrace your core. Embrace your belly muscles. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's enough. 7. Oh my god, this is more than I thought. Oh my god.
Call the hospital.
He's dead. Like a raccoon that would potentially kill you.
Hey there.
Special thanks to Dean and KVN for providing me the clips, and for every pleb community members, subscribe to Matt Skills on YouTube.
When that skill starts streaming, we all get around, happy and excited, ready to throw it down. We're part of the pleb community, our love is strong. With Matt Skills our healer, we can't go wrong. Dean and Katie, the mods on the team, keeping the chat clean, like a shining beam. They're the backbone of the channel, always by our side. Together we're united, through every game and stride. In the World of Warcraft, our joy is complete. When Matt Skills and his community, we can't be beat. From healing in dungeons to PvP mayhem, we're the best blood fam, rocking the gaming anthem.
I can't feel my legs.
Where is my alive? Holy shit. What the fuck? I literally looked at it and I died.
Grinding keys, we rise and shine. Pleb community, on the path to climb. Pushing boundaries, never gonna stop. Mythic plus runs, we reach the top. Dungeons and bosses, a challenge we crave. Slay monsters, we're fearless and brave. 1 to 15, we conquer each stage. In Mythic plus, we're all the rage. Body's depleted, but we feel alive. Pushing limits, we strive to strive. From low to high, we're always on the go. The thrill of the chase, it makes us glow.
Jesus Christ! Huge moth here. It's okay, dude. Okay, dude. I'm out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Embrace your core. Embrace your belly muscles. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's enough. 7. Oh my god, this is more than I thought. Oh my god.
Call the hospital.
He's dead. Like a raccoon that would potentially kill you.
Hey there.
Special thanks to Dean and KVN for providing me the clips, and for every pleb community members, subscribe to Matt Skills on YouTube.
When that skill starts streaming, we all get around, happy and excited, ready to throw it down. We're part of the pleb community, our love is strong. With Matt Skills our healer, we can't go wrong. Dean and Katie, the mods on the team, keeping the chat clean, like a shining beam. They're the backbone of the channel, always by our side. Together we're united through every game and stride. In the world of Warcraft, our joy is complete. When that skills and his community, we can't be beat. From healing in dungeons to PvP mayhem, we're the best blood fam, rocking the gaming anthem.
I can't feel my legs.
Where is my alive? Holy shit. What the fuck? I literally looked at it and I died.
Grinding keys, we rise and shine. Let community on the path to climb.
Hello, pepperonis. Pepperonis, I want pizza now. I want El Pizza. We're gonna play a bit good. We're gonna play a bit good. We're gonna play a bit good. Some priest. Oh, I need to set up my priest. Wait. This is my priest. We're gonna set up El Pristo. There's been some nerfos. Unfortunate nerfos, to be honest. And we'll see how it compares. It's actually quite a bit. I'm gonna try out this first. Holy's been getting buffs. I mean, lazy buffs, but buffs regardless. Buffs regardless. I've actually been enjoying discipline a lot. Ooh, what is this? What is this? Discipline, oh priest. Discipline, oh priest. Discipline, oh priest. Discipline, oh priest. Get them big shields out of here. Ooh, what is this? I don't need big wigs. You know what? I've seen some new details coming out. Some new detail skins. Let's check them out. Let's check them out. Yo, Umbra, how are you doing? Most fun heal at the moment? Most fun healer. I don't know if I have one that's the most fun right now, if I'm being honest. I don't think I have one healer that is like by a mile most fun. That's the best way I could say it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where is El Damajo meters? Do you see this shit? This is the new... This is the new... This is the new LVI skins. Looks kind of cool. Looks kind of cool, man. I kind of like it. just checking if I have all add-ons set up here. Is the buff reminder not working? I need to repair somewhere. Apparently I'm nearly freaking dead. Apparently I'm nearly freaking dead, dude. Is beta working? It seems to be working fine for me. Is it down for someone? Beta says world server down for me. Make sure you're logging into the right account. Make sure you're logging into the right account as well. Oh, what is this? Where is my profile? Oh, beautiful, beautiful UI. Let's go. LVI got some new changes. How's healing in the beta? I think it's... I think it's good. I think it's fine. I do miss interrupts, but like... There is no dungeons like Priory right now where it's like insane overload of interrupts. Like I'm hoping that Priory will never exist in its current form in terms of the amount of interrupts you need to have. I feel like healing can be difficult when you're doing like hierarchies, and there's a couple of there's like a HPS boss in every dungeon. So it's like, if people make mistakes, it feels like it's hard to fix people's mistakes sometimes. But I feel like that's like healing, right? I think healing can feel quite stressful. Healer damage is irrelevant, so you don't have to really worry about it. I guess tracking defensives and externals is like, you don't know if the person has it or not, but you know if the person used it. So it's like, if someone died, then you're like, if someone brought it down in a really tough debuff, you're like, did they have a defensive? Because like, if they had a defensive and they didn't use it, you know. It's a pleba. Wait, people are saying that the server is down for the thing. It's working for me. Maybe the login servers are down. Yeah, but is Shaman good? Which tier for heal is he now? Tier for heal? Oh, Jesus. The tier list. The tier lists. The tier... Which tier is the healer in? What happened to playing the healer that you liked? Shaman is doing well. I think Shaman is in a good spot though. Top 3 most fun. Top 3 most fun? I'll be honest with you. I think I know Discipline Priest is really simple in Mythic Plus, but I actually been really enjoying Discipline Priest. I've actually been really enjoying Discipline Priest, so I kind of want to see it. They did nerf a lot of the things though. I need to check some of the things that they nerfed. Where is it? Do I have development notes? Do I have the development notes? Holy Paladin is... Holy Paladin is that the one? And that's not like the first nerf to Priest. It's been there for... Oracle has been kind of getting plebbed out in the last couple of... Prompt prognosis increases penance first bolt by 125 instead of 200%. Prophet Insignia increases atonement healing from spells by 15. I don't think this was needed. I really don't think this was needed, man. I really don't think this was needed. So they're buffing Void Weaver, Tropic Rift. We might try out Void Weaver as well. Shadowman healing increased. Shadow Ward death damage increased by 25. That's kind of cool. And then the big Holy Priest buffs that are not lazy and extremely specific to the gameplay. It is what it is, right? Oh shit. You're right. Dungeons crashed. People are talking about how the dungeons crashed, man. Yeah, something happened. Something happened. Something happened, dudes. Something's happened. Something's happened, man. That this priest have begun their dooming. I heard that this priest atonement nerfs mean that like a lot of times you're just defensive penancing, which feels really, really weird. Yo, Gatsy, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a good Friday. Friday. Are you hyped for midnight? Honest opinions. So my hype for the I definitely feel my hype for the new expansion is less than it was previously. I definitely, but I don't think that's necessarily just to do with midnight. I think that's just me getting a little bit bored of WoW, if I'm being completely honest. I'm really hyped to do the new raids and the new dungeons. Why am I hyped to do the new raids and dungeons? Because you don't have the weak aura shit. You don't have, like, it sounds really weird, but that's the most hyped thing that I have right now. And I hope there's not going to be some weird packages that you need to have in order to do it. I want to progress. This is what I'm most hyped at the moment. Mythic raiding without weak aura packages. Or heavily simplified, let's say heavily simplified add-ons. That's what I'm most hyped. I want to see how these... I did a bit of raid testing and stuff like that, and but I haven't seen all the bosses, especially like the last boss. But I really want to see how it feels without having all these, like, you know, these weak auras telling you, like, everything, right? Whoa, what's causing me errors here? Cooldown viewer. My cooldown manager just shit itself, and I don't do anything with the cooldown manager. That's a bit dodge. Apparently there's something going on with the servers. You can't even do Mythic Plus. Apparently, I need to wait and see how it's going. The link to your Discord is not working. If the link to the Discord is not working, have you ever been part of the Discord and you were banned? Because that's, or are you part of a country that bans Discord? Because that's the only what was it saying? I completely forgot about it. Oh yeah, the link on Discord is not the only reason it won't work is if the country disables Discord, or if you've been part of Discord and you got banned, and you most likely got banned because your account got hacked and you were spamming shit on the Discord, which happens all the time. Please, authentication options, strong passwords for Discord, please. You have no idea how many people get hacked on Discord, and then their accounts are used to spam shit, and you get fucked. It's actually very, very, you know. Press is going to have to go through a whole rework. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with Press at the moment. Hello, Mads. Long time since I was on Twitch. Got to see you. Still keep it up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I was like holy more than discipline. A whole enjoyer. A whole enjoyer. Let's go, boys. Hello, Don. How you doing? Any nerfs on Rest of Druid? They did nerf Rest of Druid, but I still think it's very strong. They kind of did some nerfs specific for Mythic Plus, and they kind of did some buffs, or they did some raid talent buffs to pleb it out. Did you test RQI? I've not tested RQI just because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if RQI is gonna make it out in its current state. I think Blizzard is looking to get after them. I've also heard very. Okay, so I shouldn't be saying this. I shouldn't be saying this because I've not tested it myself. But I've heard so many people talk about how buggy it is I've heard so many people talking about like they set up their profiles, they reload, everything's gone, or icons disappear, or shit disappears. And I tend to believe those people because the way that RQI does stuff with the cooldown manager, it's hacking cooldown manager. It's legitimately hacking it. So I'm not yet converted to RQI. Don't get me wrong, RQI does some insane stuff that no other add-on does, and it's an advantage, 100% an advantage. I'm just not sure if Blizzard is going to allow for that advantage to continue. So I've not made the leap. I wish Blizzard would just make it easier. I wish Blizzard would just make it a lot easier to manipulate the buff bar. That's all well, there's two things I'm asking. Easier way to manipulate the buff bar. Easier way to manipulate the buffs and the buff bar. Two things. And then filtering of raid buffs. Actually, there's 4 things that I can tell you that I think are somewhat limiting. I think there's 4 things that are somewhat limited currently in the game. So the buff bars, the track buffs, easier way to manipulate and edit and separate and change track buffs from cooldown manager. Easier way to do stuff with track bars. It's still possible to do stuff with track bars, but it's still kind of cringe. Filtering, the most important one is filtering buffs and debuffs for raid frames for healers, so you don't have 6 buffs that you're tracking as press evoker and you can't highlight a person that has echoes. And lastly, private auras. Easier way of telling. Okay, so there's a bunch of private auras happening in dungeons and raids. And a lot of those private auras are dispellable debuffs, like magic debuffs, like curse debuffs, like disease debuffs. There's no good way of highlighting that outside of having a little border around that private aura. So it makes it so that a new player comes into World of Warcraft, honestly, and they're like, is this dispellable or not? And I think that's an issue that is going under the radar right now. I think that's actually an issue that's going somewhat under the radar, which is a little bit scary in my opinion. Let's go try out some article. Isn't that getting fixed? There's supposed to be, I'm hoping they're just gonna add a flag to tell if the debuff is magic, decurse, or whatever. I'm hoping they're gonna add a flag for this. So hopefully they're gonna add a flag and it's gonna be good. There's probably no press evoker today. It's probably gonna be on Monday or Sunday or whatever. The border for highlighting is secret. Yeah, that's... Yeah. You can turn barons into icons without hacking the CMB. Yeah, I would like the opposite of that sometimes. You know, I don't need to turn barons into, like, think about this. Think about this. I don't think that's the issue right now, like, at all. Because, like, if I want a track bar, I'll just make it into a track bar. I'll make an icon into a track bar. There's definitely issues at some points where, like, some of the buffs might not be available. But I don't mind, like, if I want to turn something into a track bar, I'll just drag it over and it's a bar right now. That's great. Or if I want this to be an icon, I'll just drag it out of track bars into track buffs, right? I don't think that's a huge priority right now. Because I think you can just manipulate it by default to get it achieved. I think the big issue is, like, how do you separate track buffs? How do you highlight certain track buffs? How do you change the position of track buffs for specific ones instead of just, like, you know, because having a line of buffs appear is not really most optimal. Let's be completely honest. It's not really most optimal. If you have like 20 buffs to track or a lot of buffs to track, separation of these track buffs, I think, is really, really wanted. You know what I mean? Really, really wanted. But I don't know if Blizzard I don't know. Blizzard could probably implement their own shit in 5 minutes to have containers. You could have, just like RQI is doing, you could have containers for different buffs. A container for different thing, for different... They could probably do that shit like... in like no time. You know? It's so like off-putting, man. It's so off-putting. There's like... I'm losing it. I need to get the thing going. I don't know. I'm online doing a keen game. Wait, Gotsy's back when he's seen all the buffs to Holy Paladin, and Holy Paladin is in the best state ever. I like it. I like it. Let's go. I heard they're removing the private auras from the boss debuffs. Wait, I've not heard that. Are they removing private auras from the boss debuffs? Because they did that to prevent some of the add-ons doing some fancy stuff. I've not heard that. Can you add a new panel in QOL? You can, yeah. But the new EQOL deals with essential cooldowns. There's basically no add-on that deals with buffs. There's basically like RQI. Is that it? I think RQI is the only one thing that actually gives you like huge manipulation with buffs. The essential cooldowns, you can go crazy. Essential cooldowns, you can go crazy. Can you add sounds to your CDM on retail? For me, it doesn't work, but it works on beta. It doesn't work on... it only works in beta. There's some weird shit going on. There's some weirdness going on with the thing. I'm plebin. I am a pleb. I can't believe that you can't make the track bars vertical. There's a lot of options that they could add. Blizzard can make it in 5 minutes and they need 10 hours of meetings and approvals. I mean, that's probably true. There's loads of options that the cooldown manager is missing. Like the growth bars. Why do they have to grow from the bottom instead of top? Like there's so many options. Like if cooldown manager was an add-on, no one would... Like, I said this multiple times. If the Blizzard stuff that they're adding, if it was an add-on that was publicly available on websites and stuff like that, no one would download that shit. Because, like I said, literally, like I said before the add-on apocalypse, pretty much most of the stuff that Blizzard has in stock UI has been done in a much better way by add-on developers. Like, I don't think there's a single thing that Blizzard has done in terms of their user interface that has been better than what add-on developers has done in the past. And that's just the way it is, because World of Warcraft has an insanely huge following, add-on development following. Like, there's so many people that can do such insane things, spend their free time and whatever, and just like do all the, like, create add-ons. Because like it's an open, like, you know, Blizzard doesn't have an open market, it's a monopoly. Whatever they put in is going to be in the game. Add-on developers have to compete in terms of popularity, in terms of what is popular. And in order to do what's popular, it's literally, dude, okay, I'm not gonna go, this is literally like politics type of thing. It's like communism versus open market. Alright, let's go play the game here. What am I even talking about? What am I even talking about here, okay? Let's just play the game, brother. What? Why did they even break add-ons like that? I don't play. They wanted to remove weak cores, which I think was a good thing. Why can't Blizzard have their own add-on store like devs can push their add-ons? I mean, like Steam had it and stuff like that. I don't know. Make the devs do the work, but approve if they can put it on their store. The initial thought was that Blizzard should hire add-on developers to help develop the add-ons for them and stuff like that. You know. That was the initial thing. Let me see. What build is this? What am I running? This is definitely not what I was running. No, this is not. I have too many builds on this. Was it this that I was running? You know what? I'll just change this one. There's apparently some issues on the beta login things. There's apparently some issues on the beta login strings. What healer you think you're going to main for midnight? I don't know yet. The guild is probably going to be running triple. The guild is probably going to be running El Triple. Splits. So I'm probably gonna have like 3 because like usually I decide characters on raiding. Usually I decide characters on raiding first, and then I decide for like obviously I would like to main a character that's also good in Mythic Plus. Makes life a lot easier and shit. Why am I not able to flip this? Whatever. I'm a pleb. I'm a pleb. But if add-ons is buggy, it's fine. Isn't it fine? It's just add-ons, but if Blizzard UI is buggy, players get wild and roasting Blizzard. I mean, it's just because it's their game. They're getting paid to do that, right? I think a lot of it is a lot of it is that it's coded with Blizzard and done on a point where it's not massive strain on the game, unlike add-ons. I get what you're saying, but there's so many add-ons that do a lot of things with really good performance. Like, just because like if you had 20,000 weak auras and some of the weak auras were shittily done and it tanked your performance, there's plenty of add-ons that honestly are done to the standard of whatever Blizzard is doing in terms of performance and everything. But obviously hooking into the internal APIs and all, well, not APIs because a lot of this stuff is there, but like I can tell you right now that half the stuff that Blizzard, like I think the best example is Blizzard. Is Blizzard damage meters, are they actually server side? Because they said they wanted to make it server side. But I remember for a long time it was like whatever. It was whatever. But there's plenty of add-ons that, believe me, like just because you have a bad experience with like, I know there's plenty of people who had bad experiences with weak auras and LVI to some extent if they didn't have good settings and stuff, and it was just tanking their performance. Cell in raid was really heavy as well. If you're running those add-ons and stuff like that, you could definitely feel it, right? But there's plenty of add-ons that are really good. There are plenty of add-ons that have really good performance and stuff like that, believe me. And it's like, it's made by people who are doing it for free as well, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it's definitely, like, I think, like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I actually think that the removal of weak aura packages in dungeons and raids is like, after playing beta for all this time, it's absolutely the way to go. It's absolutely the way to go. Absolutely the way to go. If they can get the state of everything else to be decent, like I said, I don't want weak auras, or sorry, I don't want the deletion, it's not really the deletion, but the war on weak auras end up costing a lot of issues for healers specifically to do with raid buffs and filtering, and I don't want that to be a thing, right? It's basically fixed one issue and then caused another issue. And I think that's really, really lame right now because healers are basically getting fucked. There's certain specs you literally just cannot play. Like, I don't want to be over dramatic, but there's certain specs. I don't know how many people played Preservation of Evoker in Raid in pre-patch. I don't know how many people played Preservation of Evoker, but tell me you're able to track every single person who has echoes and you're not overriding your echoes. It's literally almost impossible. Like, you just cannot determine if a person in time, because there's like so many buffs that Prez has. And to some extent, it's also Resto Druid. I think those healers got fucked by the raid filtering. I think every other healer can somehow manage without being too bad. But I think Resto Druid got fucked, man. Oh, sorry, Preservation of Evoker as well. So it's like... Cell was heavy if you had HP numbers on. If you disable performance, it was much better. I didn't have the HP numbers on. It was still kind of heavy in raid. There was definitely ways to improve Cell, but like let's not beat around the bush. Cell was pretty heavy in raid. I think that was, anyone who's used the add-on probably pretty much knows that, but it didn't matter, right? Because if your computer was good, if you're running a combination of LVUI, heavy weakness, and Cell in raid, you probably had to have like a really beefy computer, or you probably would experience like heaviness, for sure. But that's no longer the truth now, because you don't have heavy weakness. You might be using LVUI, which I think is a little bit heavier. We'll see what Cell is going to be like. I'm assuming Cell is going to be like, you know, a stripped down version as well. So I don't think that's ever going to be an issue now, because you should be getting, depending on how many weakness you were using, like, I don't know, 20 to 50 free FPS from not using weakness. At least that's my personal experience. Like, my game is running a lot better now without having a lot of the weakness packages. They fixed the press by taking a temporal anomaly of raid frames though. Hooray! Hooray! They fixed it! They did it! It just sucks, man. They fixed one issue and they broke it like forever. You know, and the healers are getting screwed, man. It's the healers that are paying the price. Whoa, they put harsh discipline here. When was this changed? Was this just the newest one? When was this? I can't remember now. I'm flipping here. I kind of want to pick up Painful Punishment, but I don't know what to take. I'll take one borrow time. Should I take one borrow? Oh, you can't. This is kind of fucked, dude. I kind of want Revel in Darkness as well. If you're looking at the Blizzard, will show 0 performance now. It's not on server side. It's peer-to-peer. So that's okay. Okay. Let me see something. Let me see something. Is out of date, okay. Yeah, but how can I pick up Revel in Darkness and Painful Punishment? I can't really. I can't really. How can I pick this up? I want these to pick up though. Hmm. 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 Having useless debuffs, I already read that, but Kindle is still on raid frames. If opening all buffs and debuffs leads to combat solving tracking, then Blizzard could just open up specific buffs from each healer you can modify. Yeah. Blizzard could make a hard-coded list of buffs and debuffs that they could filter out on raid frames. I feel like they could do that. But I don't know. Shield discipline, but I feel like mana is kind of cringe, man. Which one's better? Revel? I feel like Revel and Darkness is probably better. We'll just do this. We'll just YOLO this without mana, without the mana thing, and it's gonna be. Mana is definitely gonna be an issue. I can tell you, not an issue, but it's it is. You're gonna have to drink. I tell you right now, you will have to drink your poo. You will have to drink your poo. Let me see if the dungeons are actually even available. I heard it's like bugging out and shit. Let me see if it's even available, bros. Let me just test the thing. Press got screwed with the Apex. With the Apex, every healer got something new and fun. But Precious had, dude, every new healer got something new and fun for Apex talents, bro. Come on, Mr. Pooh. That's a fucking code. I'm just gonna read that sentence back to you. Every other healer got something new and fun with their Apex talents. There is no shot you believe that. There is no shot. There is no shot. There is so many Apex talents for healers that is so bland and boring, or like RNG for healers. Yeah, something's fucked up. Something's fucked up with the thing. There is no way, man. Like, at the very start, I still think Stormstream Totem for Resto Shaman was, for the very long time, it was completely random. It was completely random. At least they added a right way of doing that. Right way of doing. I could argue Discipline Priest random chance of a super strong shield proccing is cringe as well, right? You could make an argument for that. Mistweaver 1. Mistweaver 1. I think it's because it has a random chance of proccing and it has a guaranteed chance of proccing. I think that's the way to go. I honestly think that's the way to go. And I think Blizzard agrees with it because they literally added it to Resto Shamans. I think my character is bricked. I think my character is bricked. I think there's something going on. I think there's something going on, dude. I personally think that I'm gonna miss Engulf for Flameshaper. I don't know how many people are gonna. I don't know how many people are gonna agree with this and stuff like that. But I know it's kind of probably toxic to say, but I actually really liked the oomph that it did, and then sniping every other healer in the raid. I'm just gonna have my little Engulf combo, and then every other healer is like, but I was gonna use my cooldown. I was gonna do something. I'm gonna miss that a lot. I'm gonna miss that a lot. Like it was a whatever. Whatever, it is what it is. You're right, I'm joking. No, I'm saying that like There's definitely some of the Apex, like if you look at Holy Paladin Apex talents, tell me, like genuinely tell me, how do you change your gameplay outside of just seeing someone has your beacon and it's like okay, but like what does it actually do? Like the Holy Paladin Apex talents are just kind of there, right? Sure, you can heal the person and stuff like that, the transfer, and you can check it, but like it's just there. Rest of Druid Apex talents. Sure, it's powerful. You proc your Soul of the Forest, and then and then you're like, you know, the life loom targets again, but the gang really healed. But it's like it's there, right? It's like it's not really going to. Sure, the person that has life bloom is probably not going to die if you play properly. That's all good and Gucci, right? But like really impacting the second to second decision making, whatever. It's not really gonna do a whole lot, right? It's not really gonna do a whole lot. There's a lot of like, I actually would argue that the Apex talents for Evoker and Apex talents for Mistweaver, I think they were done correctly from the start. Random proc chance and then a guaranteed proc chance. So when you get a random proc chance, you're like, okay, that's pretty cool. But when you actually need it during a heavy AoE phase, you're like, I'm gonna press my Thunder Focus to you. I'm gonna press my Dream Breath. But it also leads to another argument: is Mericho's Blessing all that fun? Is it a good replacement? Good replacement from Spirit Bloom. Dude, I'm fucked. I think the servers are. I think the instance servers are down, and I started my stream for the beta. Yo, GSCC7NL. Thank you for the membership, dude. Let's go. I think the game is screwed, man. Oh wait, I missed out on a couple of chats. Have you tested in Mythic Plus yet? Yesterday you said you had concerns about its sustain. Tested who? I did test Holy Paladin yesterday. There's something going on, man. I can't get into dungeons. Yo, Leroy, team effort, no snipe. For mythic rating, maybe. Maintenance for next hour, there might be disconnects. So we have to go on live, so we need to change our thing. Now you get the oomph when you press the 4 blossoms, the instant dream breath. I need to get around to doing proper raid testing for thing. Holy Paladin Apex team is cool, but yeah, it means absolutely nothing. But Holy Paladin Apex 2000%. Oh wait, the cat is trying to get in. Dude, I think I'm fucked. I think I'm fucked, man. I think I'm gonna try and log in on another character and see if you can actually join Mythic Plus dungeons. Because I joined the dungeon here and I think I think my character is bricked, man. I think my character is bricked. You think Press is going to be alright for keys? I think every healer is going to be alright. But not every healer can be meta, right? Yo, Nami, how got it? There's issues on beta servers. You can't even log in online characters since yesterday. Wait, really? I've already tested. Have you tested Mythic Plus? Yesterday you said you had concerns. Which healer tracks on? Do you mean Holy Paladin? I tested Holy Paladin yesterday and I thought it was really good. I tested Holy Paladin yesterday and I thought it was a juicer, dude. I think Holy Paladin is fully back. I actually think Holy Paladin is fully back. I don't think it's going to be meta healer, but I think it's going to be up there in Mythic Plus. In Raid, I need to... Raid testing is just cringe, right? I've not tested Priest. Today is the Priest testing day, and it's being sabotaged by Blizzard. It's being sabotaged by Blizzard. I'm scared about this. I'm scared about this change I'm scared about this change in particular. I'm scared about some of this change. I'm scared about this change. We'll check out Void Weaver. There's also like I'm scared about some of the changes to see how it feels. For sure. There's something going on with the servers. My Discipline Priest went to the... Let me see if I can log into... Let me see if I can log into a pleb. This is a non-edited healer. Or the UI is going to be all over the place. I just want to see if I can actually... I want to see if I can actually join a dungeon. So you can play in beta, but you can't join a dungeon? Oh shit, I forgot to change it too. Yeah, dungeons are bricked. Dungeons are... Okay, no wait, maybe not. I'm loading in. Maybe not. I need to pet my cat. Only Weakora misses a spinning crane kick. Weakora, dude, stop. Someone plebbed me with that Weakora, and I was doing spinning crane kick on Monk, and I literally thought I was gonna throw up. So, okay, I need to change the title. Blizzard. Why are they doing it, man? I wanna test my priest. Dude, I wanna test my priest, dude. Please, game. Please. I can log into beta and stay in Ogrenamar, but I can't go anywhere. If I join a dungeon, I'm screwed. Did they say how long this is going to be? Did they say how long this is going to be? I'm swapping back to heals for the first time since Sanctum. Can't decide between Holy Paladin and Disc. I think they're pretty fun options. I'll be honest with you. Holy Paladin has grew on me since the whole beta testing. Oracle Discipline Priest has grew on me specifically because it's... I have a thing for shields. I love shielding, and I think even though it's brain dead easy, honestly one of the easiest healers to play in the whole game. You don't have premonitions, all of that stuff. I still for some reason gravitate towards the Oracle Discipline Priest. I just like the shields. I think the shields are just like... Getting big shields and stuff like that on the thing is... And like, I don't know. I just think it's kind of fun. Double penances is fun. I shouldn't like I don't know. It's like on paper I probably shouldn't like it because it's so brain dead. We're talking about Mythic Plus, not Raid. In Raid it's a little bit more difficult, but not too much more, to be honest. But I don't know. I think it's fun. I think its Oracle is fun. Like, let me see. I want to do a tier list of most fun while we wait for the beta to hopefully fix itself. Fix the plebiness. Does anyone have a tier? Where is Blizzard's? Blizzard has a tier. Wowhead has a tier list, right? Tiercraft or something that does per spec. I need it per hero build. I need it per hero build. What's that Wowhead thing called? Do they must have hero builds. Which one is it? How do I open this? This is a specific one. Tiercraft or some shit. Tiercraft. Yeah, that's the one. Wait, is the one? What is this? What is this website? Tier lists. Yeah, but I need hero builds. I need hero builds. Dude, this website is fucking awesome. I'm gonna fucking... This is my next tier list, dude. This is my next tier list. Why does this only show... Dude, I'm a pleb. I'm just gonna do fun. This is gonna be fun tier list until the beta comes out. Can't really see it properly. Fun is super subjective. Fun is also dying. Did you check out? I sent you via DM yesterday, mad for broadcasting stuff. I didn't yet. You misunderstood me on the stream. I didn't need the disintegrate ticks yet. I was hoping that there would be an add-on that does all casting, because I'm not really going to. I don't really. To be honest, I should check it out, because if you are playing devastation stuff like that, it would be really good. I checked out, and I was disappointed by it. I checked out a specific add-on yesterday. I was looking for an add-on that does styling for tracked bars, because like very few add-ons do styling for tracked bars, and by tracked bars I mean this styling for tracked bars, and it's still a little bit buggy. It's not gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work out. The styling for track bars is kind of cringe right now, right? Yeah, but I don't think there's gonna be one all add-on for it. It's a little bit two lists. We're gonna do two lists until beta comes back up. House Priest with the new nerfs, panic. I do not get it. Beta is screwed. Apparently it's for 1 hour or something. They're doing something. You can't enter. Let me see. You can't enter the thing. You can't enter dungeons. There's something going on with instance dungeons. I just can't enter it. I can't enter. There's something going on with beta, man. I can't even test my beautiful priest. My beautiful discipline priest, man. It's just not loading. I'll be right back. It's just not loading. I don't know what to do, man. You can't test beta, so if you can't test beta, what do you do? Be right back. Nonsense. No, screw this. We're gonna lab out here and see if we're gonna get to log in, man. Ah. Okay, wait. Restart now. Maybe they're doing something. Just let this download. Just let this download. Monk just likes any and all class fantasy and hooks I like. Monk is. I need to retest Monk as well. I need to retest Press Evoker. But I want to retest my beautiful priest. This is the retail. No, this is not the retail. What am I talking about? I'm scared to log in. I'm scared to log in, man. I wonder if my character is going to get bricked now because it's going to be stuck in the instance. It's happened before in Coppola, but I think it'll be fine. So you can be in Ogrimmar, but if you go to an instance, it's over. If you go to an instance, it's over. Are people even looking for groups? They're looking for groups, but you can't enter. Fix your game. Play priest? Bro, did you not hear? My priest is fucking bricked in an instance. Literally can't log into any of the. Oh no. How are people like? It's over. It's over, boys. Any character that goes into an instance just gets fucked, and you can't even log in on Stormwind either. I hope those characters are not bricked though. I mean, I can just remake them again. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do then. If beta is gonna be like this the whole day, do I just play retail? Do I just play retail, dude? There's nothing to do in retail. I'm gonna send another character in the dungeon. I'm gonna send one of the pleb UI test characters into a dungeon and see if they're fucked up. Which do you prefer, Holy Paladin or Disc so far? I wanted to retest Disc, but like the instance servers seems to be screwed, man. I wanted to retest. Let me see if I can teleport to any dungeon. Pit of Sauron. Yeah. Oh. Mysterio's biggest problem is that Brew looks like the best tank. Isn't it cringe how like it's just disconnected. Isn't it cringe how like so many times a healer can be good, but they might not be included in the 5-man comp because there's already good DPS or tanks are the same spec or the same class. It's happened to. I'm pretty sure Resto Druids absolutely hate balanced Druids. I'm pretty sure Resto Druids hate balanced Druids. Because Resto Druids have been left out of meta a couple of times now because of them. Sacrifice another one. Guys, should we sacrifice all the characters? So Shaman is better melee comp healer because of the Skyfear, yeah. Dude, Totemic Resto Shaman with double downpour and stuff like that. Such a fun and powerful character in melee comps. Holy shit, I've retested it. It was a blast. It was a fucking blast. It was an absolute blast. I loved it. Mysterio has insane HPS numbers, but has the worst events of the game. Squishy and Cocoon is so bad, and it only fits in melee comps. Well, I don't know about insane HPS numbers. I think they have insane HPS numbers in pre-patch, but pre-patch is a joke anyways. At least their mana is getting a little bit better, right? At least Blizzard is doing something mana because you run out of mana. Mystery is so different in Raid and Mythic Plus as well, man. It's like playing two different healers half the time. It's like you're playing two different healers, which can be fun. Honestly. But it's so different, right? It's great! Dude, I'm getting screwed. Let's just do the tier list. Let's just do the tier list. I have nothing. Do I really want to separate it by hero builds? Let's just do a spec view. Snapshot. The fuck? It takes a picture? It takes a picture, but I kind of wanted to do the healers. Like, phone healers is like, it's such a, it's just gonna be so different for everyone. I think there's a decent amount of players who find every healer after rework to be boring. I don't know how many people fall into that category, but I can tell you there's definitely a group of players who probably threaten to quit World of Warcraft or are quitting World of Warcraft over the simplification of healers. I for sure think there is a... I don't know how large of the population base is that, though. I don't know how large the population base is going to be like that. For Mythic Plus, I personally... I actually think... I don't know where I would put Rest of Druid. I don't know what I put Rest... I think Rest of Druid Mythic Plus is fun. I think Rest of Druid... I don't know if I would put it like... No, I think it would... Why is it A plus and shit? Why is it A plus? And it doesn't fill it again? Oh, shit, bruh. Okay. I think Rest of Druid is fun in Mythic Plus. I like the Rest of Druid playstyle. Actually, should I say I like the Rest of Druid playstyle? Okay. There's a lot of things that are wrong with... There's a lot of things that people disagree with Rest of Druid playstyle in terms of regrowth playing a big part. Blizzard recently just nerfed regrowth and both things like your wild growth and some of the raid talents, which might make it into Mythic Plus, probably not though. So Blizzard is trying to take some of the power from regrowths and put it somewhere else, which I think is a good thing, but I think they could do that even further. I think some of the rest of Druids are kind of bored of the regrowth playstyle in terms of regrowth playing such a big part, but I like the cleanup that they did. I like the cleanup. I kind of don't mind only having one life bloom. I think 2 life blooms sometimes felt like a little bit, not overwhelming, but a little bit annoying to keep up, I might say. I don't know if I should say annoying, but I actually don't mind the 1 life bloom. Apex talents are very bland, but they just make your life bloom target really powerful, or the healing on that target really powerful. Can I not log in? Oh. I use Anders frames, yeah. As a mystery, I just want YOLO, not the same every tier. Blend it out here. I wanted to play Press so bad, but they just killed the spec. I'm actually so sad about them removing Spirit Bloom. I feel like they should. I feel like they wanted Meritor's Blessing to be the replacement, but I don't think it's really a replacement because healers got triple pruned. We lost spells, interrupts, and all of our damage. DPS and tanks only lost spells. I heard that tanks still feel really interesting. I heard some DPS are definitely not feeling that interesting. Like I like the live trading changes. I don't know if you can see, but the things on. I like the live trading little change here. I like the Soul of the Forest being merged with part of the Arch Druid. I think that's also like, you know, I'm not a huge, like, I still would have liked to have Flourish, but whatever. I would have liked, it's like whatever. It's like, it's probably not the best, not the worst. Apex sounds super boring, I think, but One life bloom. One life bloom, no fluorescence. Combination of Soul the Forest, Power of the Archdruid. Taking out the RNG from Power of the Archdruid as well, I think is probably very good. The spamming of regrowths, or like the power into regrowths, maybe not the most fun thing ever, but I don't think it's the worst thing either. I think you just kind of get used to it. I mean, would people rather go back to the Grove Guardian power that they used to have in Dragonflight? I mean, I personally actually didn't mind that gameplay either. I'm just not sure what Druids really want as well. But I think the current playstyle is pretty decent. You still need to know the damage incoming. You still need to know the damage patterns. You still want to preemptively prep for healing sections and stuff like that. Kitty weaving, you don't have to do that shit. Healer damage is irrelevant. Like, healer damage is fucking irrelevant. If you don't want to kitty weave, don't kitty weave. If you're playing Wild Stalker and you don't want to kitty weave, don't kitty weave. It doesn't fucking matter, honestly. Healer damage is so shit, it doesn't matter at all. Unless, like, you're trying to push the highest of the highest content and you're really trying to do everything. I feel like you could just press Moonfire, Sunfire, and just, well, Sunfire, you could just press Moonfire, apply a couple of bleeds, and just YOLO out. Like, healer damage is just so irrelevant. It's just irrelevant. People talk about, like, you know, I myself specifically as well talks about Wild Stalker, kitty weaving, and stuff like that. You can play Wild Stalker and just never go into kitty form. Doesn't matter. Like, legitimately does not matter. Unless you're, like, reaching really, really high ends of it. So yeah, if you're scared that you're gonna have to kitty weave, you don't have to kitty weave. People will like if the tuning was done in such a way, let's say the tuning was done in such a way that, I actually don't think Keeper of the Grove is all that bad either, but let's say if the tuning was done in such a way that Keeper of the Grove was the most HPS, let's say like 5% more HPS, then, this is hypothetical, than Wild Stalker. But Wild Stalker provided like 50% more damage. You're gonna take the HPS. 50% of shit is 0. Like people will take whatever is the, like, but Wild Stalker actually provides good HPS boosts with like symbiotic blooms and stuff like that. Wild Stalker is actually they added the tier sets from the thing, so Wild Stalker still has a lot of synergy. Like, symbiotic blooms increases the healing your spells do unaffected targets by 20%. The funny part about this is symbiotic blooms are not actually tracked by the thing, so you don't even know, they're not tracked by the default rate frames. So you actually don't know if you have symbiotic blooms on targets. Whether that's like something you would like to do or not, it's, you know, there's no choice anyways. But I think Druid overall is a pretty fun healer. You don't have to kitty weave. I enjoy kitty weave. I enjoy applying bleeds, applying dots, applying hots. Preemptive healing, I think, is fun. It's still what's happened in Midnight for Resto Druid is more to do with like the cleanup of their spec, in my opinion. In raiding, it's a little bit different because you don't have wildwood roots. You don't have the insane increase to your regrowths in terms of the casting speed. So you don't have this like crazy regrowth ramps that you would have before. So I think that's a little bit different. But I think Resto Druid is fun if you like bleeds, dots, all of those things. I think it can be, but like, again, it's all up to you, right? Losing Emerald Communion Spirit Bloom hurts. I agree for the press. We did more significant amount of DPS in the War Within and now Midnight. 5 zeros of Shaman actually pump damage. I feel like every single healer right now is doing like, when you say pump damage, when anyone says a healer pump damage, let's take a step back in the grand scheme of things. In a solid group, depending on the specs, you're not getting close to the tank's DPS. Like, not even. Like, best case scenario, I don't know. Best case scenario, maybe half the DPS of a tank. Maybe. And that's like putting it mildly. When people say a certain spec was pumping damage, in the grand scheme of things, it is fucking dog shit. Do you remember the time when the healer DPS, when a healer could actually compete with the tank? Like, where, do you remember the time when a healer DPS and a tank DPS would equal the DPS of one total? There used to be a time when, like, you could actually, like, or even for comparison, fellowship, healer damage and fellowship is actually really meaningful. It's actually really meaningful, and like, you would actually spec and pick talents that actually improve your DPS. Like, you would actually build your character around DPS. I think Blizzard has taken a huge stance on healer DPS in the last 2 expansions, Midnight included. They've taken a huge stance on healer damage. And that's to do with how trinkets work. All the DPS trinkets, unused trinkets, they would provide damage or whatever for tanks and healers has been nerfed, like specifically for them has been nerfed a lot, because you could technically find like a crazy strong DPS trinket and use that as a healer. People have done that in the past a lot. They nerfed all of that interaction. So right now, healer damage, like I said, like people think that I hate healer damage. I actually love healer damage. I actually think healer damage is really fun for me. And I love min-maxing healer damage when it was relevant. But this is coming from someone who's fully aware that healer damage or healers becoming meta because of healer damage and all that stuff is not good for the game, right? I try to take a step back, devil's advocate type of thing. And I can tell you, unless you're doing like the highest skis in the world, man, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Like, the only downside of healer damage being dog shit is that when I have downtime, and this is what I don't understand. When you have nothing going on, and there's going to be people who hate healer damage, I fully agree. I can see your opinion. But what I don't understand is this. If there is absolutely nothing going on as a healer, what do you do? Do you just stand there and do nothing and stuff like that? Like, I don't mind when there's absolutely nothing going on. I'll press a DPS button. I'll put a flame shock, put a lava burst. What feels bad to me is that when I do that, when I press flame shock, when I press lava burst, I know that shit is meaningless. Like, it literally does nothing. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it literally does nothing. That whole concept of me as a healer putting flame shock, putting lava burst during downtime, that whole concept is for me to be entertained. Literally. It's literally for me to be entertained, to feel like I'm doing something. Because it's not really going to do anything in terms of getting the mobs down. In terms of utility, like pressing an interrupt as a Resto Shaman, ooh, now that's like real. Now we're talking. That's real shit, you know. Follow with nothing to do. If you're not healing and you choose not to do damage instead of doing nothing, you're bad at the game. That's something. Like, during downtime, you should always do something, right? You should always just do something. If there's nothing going on, like everyone's full HP, nothing's happening, might as well do some DPS abilities, because otherwise you're just sitting there and wasting GCDs. Like, the whole concept of becoming a better player is all about optimizing every single global cooldown you have. And like, while DPSing is not really all that important, you should still like do it, right? If you can. Like, what I'm trying to say is that if you're trying to optimize or prioritize DPS over healing, that's when you have a big issue. That's when you have a big issue, man. When you're letting people die because you want to provide more damage, that's... oh, scary. Scary. With healer damage so low, I wish they would add more talents or abilities for DPS to do more damage, like PI. You want PI? Dude, you want more PI abilities. You're having a blinder today, dude. You're having You're having a blind. I feel like a lot of people would like Power Infusion to be non-usable on others. I feel like a lot of people would want PI to be removed the fuck out of here, dude, because it just causes so much tensions. It just causes so much tension. PI is the worst spell ever added to the game. Instant service. Let me double check again. Instant servers are down. For the people who are not sure why I'm not playing Priest, instant servers are down. I'm in a dungeon on my Priest and I just could not get out. Let me see. Instant servers are down. Yeah. Instant servers are plebby. I don't know. Maybe people do want more PI stuff. I personally think that like in our guild as well, PI just causes so many problems. It just ends up causing so many problems. And this is player issue rather than the game design issue, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like it's more of a I feel like it's more of an issue against how players play the game rather than the design of it. Because I don't mind the design of augmentation of Evoker, but people hated how OP it was, right? PI should be for priest only. It's just annoying. I don't want to give it to other people's damage. Yeah, that's what I hear all the time. That's what I hear. Have you tested mystery after the buffs? No. Today was supposed to be priest stuff, but it's not looking like I'm gonna get priest tested. Which healer would you recommend for aging gamer? I think Resto Shaman is great at that. I think Resto Shaman is really easy. I think Holy Priest is really easy. I think Oracle Discipline Priest and Mythic Plus is really easy. I think Herald of the Sun Holy Paladin is really easy. Those are my suggestions. But Holy Paladin, I feel like the APM for Holy Paladin is quite high. Just keep that in mind. Just wait, give me a second, boys. We're doing a tier list with the most fun, not the most OP. The most OP is gonna come out later on. Most fun. Beta is down. No, not the beta, the servers. I don't want to. Oh, wait. Why are they looking for group when the logins are plebbed? I can log. So if you're on Stormwind, you can't even log in. If you're in Stormwind, you can't even log in. You can log in Ogrenamar, but you can't go into instant servers. You can't go in the instant servers. So if you have an alliance character, well, you got what you deserved. You can't log in. Finally, Blizzard has made up their mind. All the alliance plebs are not allowed to play the game, as it should be, in my opinion. It's just, it's not a bug actually. It's just telling you to pick the right faction, you know. It's just finally Blizzard is listening to the feedback. Finally. A bunch of alliance characters I'm memeing. This is just for fun. This is what's the most fun ones. I already kind of have the I don't know if I would put I don't know if a person would put Rest of Druid in like the most fun. I still think Rest of Druid changes were probably. I think they were somewhat regarded as good ones. I don't know. Press still looking good for raid, so hard to find coverage on them. It's hard to find coverage on raid because you can't test raids often. You can only test raids during specific times. So, and what usually happens is that Blizzard does raid testing, then Blizzard does massive changes, and then there's no more raid testing. And then people will just have to be like, well, it was kind of good before, and then it got like a slight nerf. It should still be okay. A lot of guesswork. I'll be honest with you. I think if you're looking for raid tier predictions, you're just better off asking the 8-ball or something at this point. Raid predictions for healers are always so difficult. I don't think anyone has ever, like, I'll be honest with you, if I look back at all the predictions for raid in terms of strong healers, there's always massive loops. Always massive loops. Massive loops. So it's like, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. Prez was looking to be pretty good in raid, and there hasn't been too many changes, so it's like, you know. But like, I'll be honest with you, raid predictions, I want to say it's 50-50. It's always been 50-50. Mythic Plus is different because you can test Mythic Plus all the time. Obviously not now because the servers are kind of down. But you can test Mythic Plus all the time. Like literally before, like a day before the servers are going live. You can test Mythic Plus. And you can kind of have a, you know, a more clear idea. More clear idea. Crusader Strike is not back for Holy Paladin. They reverted that change. Do you use current LVI party frames? I can't find how to make party frame to change color when player has debuff. Oh, like I'm using Danders, but it should LVI party frame should show you like when they have magic debuff or curse or whatever. I think they have it by default. They're saying, can you play Mythic Plus? Where's the Holy Paladin changes? Flash a light, healing increased by 35%. Use those infusions for those instant flash a light juiciness. But yeah, Holy Paladin has been the changes to. Oh, where would I put the Holy Paladin? Honestly, you know what? I've tested Holy Paladin yesterday. I ran the Lightsmith build. I thought the Lightsmith build was actually pretty good. I ran the Herald of the Sun. I think Lightsmith might. Like, my very early estimation is like Lightsmith might be better than Herald, but I think both of the playstyles are actually pretty good. The buffs were good to Holy Paladin. Thank God they didn't bring back Crusader Strike, or at least they brought back Crusader Strike, but then they also increased the cooldown on your Judgment and Holy Shocks. So the gameplay would have been like fucking dog shit if they would have left it the way that it was. Then there was a huge outroar, and then Blizzard reverted the change, and then they buffed Holy Paladin. So Holy Paladin is probably in the best state in terms of like pure throughput. It's probably in the best state it's ever been. Oh wait, there's two S's here because we deleted them one. It's because this tier list is fuck. I don't like this website. It's very rough. It's very rough. It's very rough. Especially with all the changes and revert nerfs, both hard to predict the good roster. It's very hard. For raiding, it's very hard to predict the good roster right now. But yeah, Holy Paladin, honestly, here. Holy Paladin. Holy Paladin juiciness. I thought I was messing around with different Lightsmith builds. I was playing with Avenging Crusader. I was playing with normal wings. The Avenging Crusader build obviously requires you to be in melee because Avenging Crusader turns into Crusader Strike, and you have this whole gameplay where pressing Holy Shock reduces the cooldown of Judgment. Pressing Shield of the Righteous reduces the cooldown of Holy Shock, so you press more Holy Shocks, you reduce the cooldown of with Crusader's Might talent. You have this whole loop of you press your abilities, so you reduce the cooldown of Judgment. Then you have your Ethereal Legacy, where your Judgment critical strikes give you basically a free Light of Dawn, which can actually be pretty impactful if you pick talents to it. And then I was messing around with Awakening as well, where you have more chances of it. Then like Lightsmith, you also have Hammer and Anvil, which passively your Judgment crits also give you this like passive healing that's like, you know, incidental healing and stuff like that. That's been nerfed like multiple times. It used to be really powerful. Now it's like a little bit less powerful. And then with Herald of the Sun, you basically just have, you don't have your Holy Bulwark abilities, your big absorb ability, which is fine because you have more healing from your Holy Shock and you have Eternal Flame and stuff like that. So it's like I feel like if you don't run Avenging Crusader, there's like literally very little reason for you to be in melee unless you want to press Shield of Righteous, and Shield of Righteous has been buffed. They buffed the mana back from it, they buffed the damage from it. Again, healer damage is still pretty bad, but I think Holy Paladin damage is actually not that bad compared to some of the other healers. I was running double beacons. I thought the double beacon was pretty good. The Holy Paladin Apex Silence are fucking... Let me just show it to you. Holy Paladin Apex Silence are pretty boring, I feel. I don't think my Holy Paladin is in a dungeon, so I think I can show you. If you don't like melee playstyle for Holy Paladin, this is probably going to be the expansion for you, because I think Holy Paladin has the least reasons to be in melee in this expansion. I think you have the least reasons to be in melee. Apex Stance are very whatever. Crusader's Might is pretty integral to the whole gameplay. I was messing around with Avenging Crusader, I was messing around with Avenging Rat. I still feel like Rat could be buffed in terms of what it does, in terms of cooldown. I still feel like the cooldown is like... I was messing around with Awakening, where like one combat, your holy power spenders have a 10% chance to cause your next judgment to deal 30% increased damage and critically strike. So you're pressing your holy power spenders, you have a chance of making a judgment, have a guaranteed crit. That's proccing your hammer on anvil. That's proccing your Ethereal Legacy. So then your judgment critical strikes empower your next Word of Glory to automatically activate Light of Dawn. And you're getting like stronger Light of Dawn, and then I have talents to make Light of Dawn even stronger here and here. So Light of Dawn actually, like, the more judgment crits you're getting, the more you're pumping. So you have this whole, and then like I said, Shield of Righteous also reduce the cooldown of Holy Shock. Holy Shock reduce the cooldown of Judgment. It's like this cycle that you have, which might sound complicated. It's fucking brain dead easy to a lot of the times. It's brain dead easy. You just have these abilities available all the time, so often. If you're not playing Avenging Crusader, you don't even need to be in melee. You press Judgment, that's going to proc Consecration. You don't have an interrupt. The only reason right now to be in melee is if you're running Avenging Crusader, and if you want to use Shield of the Righteous, which you might want to use Shield of the Righteous, because you get some mana back. Shield of the Righteous mana back has been increased by what, 100%? I can't remember what the buff was. I mean, it was pretty weak, so 100% is not as big as people might think, but still, you know. So it's like, this testing not possible. The servers, the instance servers are down. I'm waiting for them to come back. When they come back, I'm going to my Oracle Discipline Priest straight away. When they're back, I'm going to Oracle Discipline Priest straight away. My Discipline Priest right now is stuck in an instance. I can't load into it. The second that it's available, we're YOLOing. The second that it's available, we're YOLOing. But yeah, I think... And I know a lot of people, and I know Holy Paladin, and I know Holy Paladin community. First of all, Holy Paladin community is extremely divided. Is extremely divided. I don't think there's Holy Paladin's ever been happy, or there's even when Holy Paladin was OP and was a melee healer, like proper melee healer. I think Holy Paladins were still unhappy. So I don't think Holy Paladin community is ever going to be happy with what's happening, because there's a big divide. And it's mainly to do with the big divide that's happened with Holy Paladins. Initially, Holy Paladin in classing and stuff like that was a hard casting healer. You would hard cast all the time. A lot of players who played that, they got used to that gameplay. And then like throughout the next expansions, like Dragonflight and before that, you had like, oh my god, what is that ability that puts a thing, what is it called again? Oh, the mini, you put mini beak, Glimmer. You had, completely forgot. You had the Glimmer playstyle, you had the huge, like you literally would do instant cast healing, and it would be enough. Literally, you would, like in Dragonflight, I know Holy Paladins who didn't have Flashlight or Holy Light on their bars or keybound. Like you literally would not do hard casting. You would do all of your healing through instant cast, and you could stay in melee, and you had to stay in melee because of Crusader Strike. It was a completely different gameplay from what Holy Paladin used to be in Classic. So I think this is why the Holy Paladin community is so split, because you have the OG Holy Paladins who are like, please let me cast my Holy Light and Flashlight. And then you have the new gen Holy Paladins who are like, fuck this hard casting shit, I want to go back to melee. So, and I think this is what caused this huge divide over the years. And I think it's especially funny now because Blizzard removed Crusader Strike for Holy Paladins. Again, when I say removed, it's still there with Avenging Crusader. My cat wants to get out. Like I said, I'm here to do whatever the cat wants me to do. And then after that. So I thought it was really funny what happened throughout the whole beta with Holy Paladin, because it went from they removed Crusader Strike, with the only exception of Avenging Crusader turning. If I press Avenging Crusader, I get Crusader Strike back for that duration. So they removed this. Holy Paladins were complaining. The OG, the new gen Holy Paladins were complaining that what the hell, I like Crusader Strike, I want to stay in melee. And rightly so. Rightly so, because people were like, what the fuck am I gonna do now? I'm gonna have so much downtime, because Holy Shock and Judgment and all those things used to have a much longer cooldown. Right now, with all the talents and stuff like that, I'm looking at like 5.3 second Holy Shock. And that gets reduced by me pressing the Judgment also gets reduced by me pressing Holy Shock and stuff like that. So people initially were like, what the hell, you're removing Crusader Strike, we're gonna have so much downtime. But Blizzard was like, okay, instead of waiting for Holy Shocks and Judgments, we're gonna give you this insane amount of cooldown reduction, we're gonna give you these interactions, so now you won't have to use Crusader Strike because you won't have it, but you won't feel like you have downtime. So they iterated that kind of thing throughout the whole beta. So like months and months. They were reducing the cooldown of Judgment, further reducing it, further reducing it. Initially, you still had a lot of downtime. You had a lot of downtime initially. So people were like, we need more cooldown reduction. We need more cooldown reduction. So they end up reducing a lot of this to a point where they actually got it pretty good, where like you could have a fun gameplay, in my opinion. You could have a fun gameplay by just pressing Judgment and pressing Holy Shock and playing around Judgments. Depending on the talent build you're playing, if you're playing Herald of the Sun, you might not be playing things like Awakening. I'm not sure if Awakening is going to be a thing or not. We'll have to see in the future. But like, to a point where like, you didn't feel like you needed Crusader Strike back because you had this super simple kind of interaction between like Holy Shock, Judgment, maybe Shield of the Righteous. Then Holy Paladins were still, a portion of Holy Paladins were still complaining about how this is the most boring spec ever to play and blah, 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 all these things. And I think most people were complaining about the fact that maybe they should bring a way for Holy Paladins to get mana back, because there was no way for you to get mana back, and you could have mana issues. So let's say people were complaining about the way to bring back some mana regeneration. I think Blizzard read a lot of this feedback from some of the Holy Paladin players who were complaining about this current gameplay, and I think they read it without really actually seeing what people wanted, and Blizzard ended up saying, okay, we're gonna scrap the whole 4 months or whatever, or like we're gonna scrap everything that we did in beta. We're gonna bring back Crusader Strike, just like some people asked. We're gonna revert all the cooldown changes that you had on Judgment, on Holy Shock. There you go. And this is why people were, and this is again Holy Paladins complaining, because Holy Paladins love to complain, and I can resonate with that because I like to complain as well. So then Holy Paladins were complaining again because this is not what Holy Paladins wanted, right? Not a lot of people want, maybe some Holy Paladins wanted Crusader Strike to be back, but they wanted probably a stronger version of it, or maybe a version that just used for mana generation, but they did not want the cooldown reduction happening to like Holy Shock and Judgment. So everyone was complaining again, and then Blizzard was like, okay, we're just gonna go back to what it was like. We're gonna go back to what it was like. We're gonna buff Holy Paladin, and we're gonna give you a way to get mana back through Shield of the Righteous. And now everyone's happy, or at least hopefully most people are happy. And this is this might be a little kind of like a lesson in terms of complaining, or how do I even say this? Blizzard should pay more attention to what the player base is complaining about, because I honestly believe that they kind of had this knee-jerk reaction when they heard some of the Holy Paladins saying like, oh, this spec feels really boring or really bland, and they didn't really look at like, why does it feel boring or bland in some cases. And I think they had this knee-jerk reaction that is not here anymore. Oh, what is this? Why can't I see the chat? Yeah. Beta is unplayable. So this is the whole summary of what happened to Paladins. This is the whole summary of what happened to Paladins in a couple of minutes. I personally think that this current gameplay right now whether you're playing Lightsmith or whether you're not playing Lightsmith or whatever, like depending. I think both of the playstyles can feel different. I actually think it's kind of fun. I'm enjoying the current Holy Paladin gameplay. I think there could be more additions added to it, and I still think, like, for example, there's still issues. For example, if I'm running my awakening, when your holy power spenders have a 10% chance to cause any judgment to proc, I feel like sometimes I'm overriding it if I don't really pay attention with it and stuff like that. But I'm actually enjoying Holy Paladin in this current iteration. I had a good time. And I know it sounds really weird because I always liked Holy Paladin to be in melee. But I kind of found it refreshing that I'm not really that forced into melee anymore. I don't know, it sounds really weird. But without Crusader Strike, I'm just like, it felt easier. Does easy means fun? I don't necessarily think so. I don't necessarily think so. Easy means fun and stuff like that. But I thought it was refreshing. And like if shit hits the fan and stuff like that, then you need to burn through your mana. Like you literally have a burn through mana. Holy Light just fucking like you literally can cast 10 spells before you're out of mana. If you need to burn through mana and you need some healing, I'm not a huge fan of hard casting Holy Light. I don't think it's that fun. But do I find Holy Paladin as fun as rest of Druid though? I don't know. Glimmer Paladin, the BFA last season was legendary with the corruption. Most fun time ever. Hey man, I don't understand the Holy Paladin wanting to be ranged there plate wears where we wanted to do in range. I love being in melee if it's the lore being plate wear. Don't get me wrong. My most fun times playing Holy Paladin was melee. Don't get me wrong. I'm a full melee Holy Paladin enjoyer. I just don't think, like, and you can still go into melee, press your Shield of Righteous and stuff like that. Do some auto attacks. Do some auto attacks as the healer, fucking nut. You can still go into you can still go into melee. Like you're still counted as a melee character. You're still counted as a melee character, right? I just don't think it's as. I was kind of refreshed about like, oh hey, there's a big mechanic happening in a dungeon, big swirly. I can't hit the boss or whatever. And if you're playing Avenging Crusader, you still have to be in melee, very much so, because the Crusader strike and stuff like that. But I found it refreshing where like a big swirly's happening and I'm like, oh, I can just like get out and still do my full healing without having to be in melee. And I thought that was a little bit refreshing. We'll see what the best build is going to be like. But I honestly felt like Holy Paladin was more the current version of Holy Paladin. I don't know if it's more fun than Druid though. For me personally, I don't know, man. I don't think it's more fun than Druid for me, but I don't know if I would place it lower. I think I would place it somewhere here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's like, you know, it's very simple. But the thing is, like, think about this. This is the most fun part about this. People are complaining about the simplicity of healers. For Holy Paladin, for a lot of people, they'll bring back memories of the most fun Holy Paladin being Glimmer, being like the corruption, the BFA corruption times, where Holy Paladin was fucking brain dead easy. Some of the most fun aspects for or even some of the most fun aspects that people had with Holy Paladin when it was fucking dead easy to play. Like, being easy does not mean it's unfun, right? and it doesn't work. Doesn't work all the way around. I just haven't decided if Holy Paladin is more fun than the rest of Druid for me. I don't know. Druid is so boring now. Why would you say Druid is? I want to know everyone's opinions. Why do you think rest of Druid is so boring now? This is for Mythic Plus. Keep that in mind. Because you don't have double life blooms to micromanage. The gameplay is so similar to what it was in the War Within. At least in Mythic Plus, except like double life blooms and shit. I'm just interested in people's opinions because I'm not gonna gatekeep what's fun. Dude, what fun is completely is dependent on the person. Yeah. Mistweaver all, to be honest. 8 tier, but after Druid. Yeah, 8 tier after Druid. That's how I'm doing it right now. So the order of this matters. You just sit there and then can't really kitty weave because your DPS is dog shit. That's that's the whole concept of like DPS healer. I kind of already ranted about it. I didn't play rest of Druid because I felt like it was super high PM. This version, this version of Druid is definitely more manageable than it was before. But yeah, you kind of coming back to the healer damage. I kind of already ranted about it. Healer damage is like you play rest of Druid Wildstalker. You don't have to go kitty weaving. Your damage is dog shit. Anyways, you don't have to go kitty weaving. Before you used to have definitely a high skill ceiling, a really high skill ceiling. When healer damage mattered, you had really high skill ceiling because rest of Druid damage, like micromanaging kitty weaving and micromanaging healing was a really big skill expression. Right now, I feel like that skill expression is a lot lower because you don't need kitty weaving. You don't need kitty weaving. But that's like I've already talked about this because I love healer damage, but I can also see how healer damage can create a lot of problems in like meta perceptions when healer damage is not when healer damage becomes the main reason to invite a healer and stuff like that. I personally wish that pressing DPS abilities as a healer would feel better. I actually think Fellowship does a really good job of healer damage. I think Fellowship healer damage is really fucking good. I think they do really, like, a healer damage matters. Like, it actually matters. So you do want to do it. But, like, I don't know if... I'm willing to bet that majority of healers out here would not want Fellowship healer damage impact. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to make that assumption. So I think Blizzard is looking at the bigger picture. No, there's not going to be tier list for Raid. It's just too hard to test fully. If Wildstalker played like Ancient Teachings or DPS Wings for Paladin, it would be so goated. Oh, you're talking about... Well, you do have those talents, Dream of Scenarios and stuff like that, which... never really took off, right? I want to try Rest of Druid, but I don't like the HUDs. I mean, reading that sentence, I would say don't try it. Like, I feel like if you wanna play a healer that's centering about damage / healing over time, and you don't like that concept, probably stay away from it, right? But if I could go form showing off very much, I would try Resto though if I could get Moonkin in between and casts. You can go Moonkin in between casts, honestly. You don't have to kitty weave. I'm gonna say this outright. You don't have to kitty weave as Wildstalker Resto Druid. Unless you're pushing really high-end content where you know people are not gonna take unavoidable damage, where you want to squeeze out absolutely everything. And even then, I could make an argument healer damage is still pretty shit. You do not have to kitty weave as a Resto Druid playing Wildstalker. Healer damage is dog poopo. You're literally like if you're a Resto Druid who literally is like, oh shit, I'm in ranged. People are kind of taking damage. You know what? I kind of want to do some DPS. You go into melee. you shift into cat form and someone fucking died, or someone went really low in HP, like, dude, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm telling you right now. I think they would need to buff healer damage by like 200% to make it worth it. I'm not even kidding. Maybe not 200%, maybe a solid 100%. A solid 100% buff to healer damage, and then maybe we'll start talking about stuff. Solid 100%. And I don't know, they're not gonna do that, right? Which is the next healer that I want to talk about? Rest of Shaman, I guess. I guess I know. Is the servers not back up, are they? I don't like the healer damage needs to be a thing because it's hard to balance. Yes, the skill ceiling is lower. However, it's so annoying that healers, if they also need to do damage, has too many hats on its head. Dispel certain mechanics, damage, shield might as well be an off tag at that point. It's definitely one of the concerns that people were saying. It's definitely one of the concerns that people were saying, that the healer had to do too many things when they had to heal, provide damage, do all the mechanics and stuff like that. I personally think, my personal opinion is that I fucking love that type of mentality. I loved the overloading. I loved being responsible for so many things. That made healing hard and therefore fun for me, right? Or to some extent, it made it hard and fun. I liked when there was huge amount of skill expression, but I can also see why Blizzard is like, yeah, we're gonna tone this down because we're not gonna look at what Matt Skills, who plays the game 8 hours a day or whatever, thinks, and rightly so. We're gonna look at like what, you know, people with more limited time playing, what they think about healing. They're sick of feeling like they have to do damage, healing, dispelling, all that stuff, interrupting. They removed interrupts as well. Like this is in my eyes what Blizzard was thinking. And rightly so, right? You don't want to look at them. You don't want to look at that one top 1% or whatever, and do what they want. You want to look at the whole concept as a game. But that's also for debate. It's also for debate as well. If you tried this priest after the nerfs, the servers are still fucked. We're gonna go to disc the second the servers are back up, and we're gonna YOLO. It's fun because every global matters right now. Some globals don't matter at all. Agreed. Like I've already talked about the healer damage. I've already talked about it. I've already talked about the fact that as a Resto Shaman, when there's absolutely nothing going on, I press my Flame Shock, I press my Lava Burst. Because there's absolutely nothing going on, I don't need to heal anything, I press my Flame Shock and press my Lava Burst. Fully knowing that that is going to do absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. I'm fully aware that me pressing Flame Shock and Lava Burst is more for my entertainment in terms of having to do something. Because in the success of a key, me pressing that Flame Shock and Lava Burst is going to do such a minuscule like improvement to the key that it basically doesn't matter. I'm fully aware of that. And that's why I'm kind of like, I do feel like sometimes like, why, like for example, when I'm Resto Shaman, why am I even tracking Lava Burst procs? Why am I even tracking Flame Shock? Why am I even like, why do, look at this, like why do I even have this tracking? Like I might actually change all of this because there's literally no reason. There's literally no reason. But the downside of this, if your abilities felt like you were pressing, if your DPS abilities felt like you were actually really contributing, the downside of this is that it's possible that the healer meta becomes like it was before, where the healer that provides the most damage is going to be the healer that is going to become meta. And that's going to trickle down into the pleb categories, because it always does. From the 1% or 0.1%, the meta perception trickles down in these plus 10 keys, where it's like healers doing a dungeon, and then like your little Timmy who just started playing healer for the first time or played healer for a little bit gets shit on because he didn't do good damage as a healer. And like, how do you fix that as well? How do you fix that perception of healer needing to do good damage because it trickles down into lower keys? And then Timmy is like, oh shit, I'm never playing a healer again. I have to fucking heal, I have to DPS, I have to dispel, I have to interrupt, I have to do all these things. You know what? I'm off to my Hello Kitty Island adventure. I don't have to do any of that stuff. I literally think that's what Blizzard looked at Midnight, and that's what they did. They were literally like, hey, healers are doing too many things. Damage should not be relevant. They removed interrupts as well, for, in my opinion, for that specific reason. For that specific reason. For that specific reason. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. I think it's just for me, matter very hard responsibility, focus on the one role. Also a particular thing to say, as I hate being unable to help with interrupts and stuff. As a casual Shalan's healing was the best. You did decent DPS, you didn't need to heal all the time. It was definitely less healing in Shalan's compared to a lot of stuff here. You know. Yo, Dreamfly, thank you for the Prime. Prime Mourinho. I know Shaman said it also heal damage is insignificant if you let a DPS die, because you don't have to listen to streamers to say healer damage is insignificant. Do a dungeon. Do a Mythic Plus dungeon and compare your damage to a tank. And then compare your damage to a DPS. You don't need a streamer to tell you healer damage is shit. Do a Mythic Plus dungeon. You'll find out for yourselves. Like, I think it's just that people have been living in the Shadowlands dream. People have been living in the old expansions where like, legitimately, like I said, the healer that provided the most damage was the healer that was meta. That's long gone. That's long gone. That's long gone. No, I'm not only saying it for you. I'm saying it for like, there's a lot of people who still think like, oh, there's loads of people who still think healer damage is what's gonna make a healer meta. There's actually loads of people. They're like, yo man, what's the healer damage? Can they do good damage? Oh, this healer is like, I hear this all the time. This healer is busted in DPS and Midnight. I'm like, what do you quantify busted? Like 1/4 of the tank's damage? 1/20th of the overall DPS? What's busted? 1/50th of the overall DPS in a dungeon? Like, I think we have a different meaning of what busted is, right? But I've been talking about healer damage too much. There's no good solution to please everyone in this case. There's no good solution to please everyone. There's no good solution to please everyone in the healer damage thing. I wish that pressing DPS buttons as a healer would feel impactful. Is that possible? I honestly don't know. That's how I'm gonna end that one. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. Okay, so what was it? Holy Paladin? The servers are still not down. It's actually cringing me, man. What the hell? Let me see it. Let me see it. Someone asked me a question about... Upload. Make sure to link. Okay, I plugged out here. Let me see what people are saying. Does anyone agree Shallons would be one of the 3 best expansions if the maps were connected? I mean, I'm pretty sure Shallons, I think one of the biggest issues with Shallons was Torghast could have been better, and 8 months between content is just too long, right? Torghast could have been better. Torghast could have been OP. Torghast, in my opinion, with a couple of changes, Torghast could have beaten the crap out of Delves. It could have been 100 times more fun than Delves. I think the random powers and stuff like that, and really impactful random powers, was actually really fun. I think Side to Mythic Plus, if healer damage was on par with tanks, keys will be timed quicker, and there comes the disparity between players who maximize damage. Players who only want to heal, and Blizzard's stuck on doing the balancing. Yeah. If healers would do the same damage as tanks, it would be a complete different story. It would be a complete different story. Um, 100%. Miss healing was challenging though. There's kind of boring. I mean, healing can absolutely be challenging in Midnight if you do high mythic blue skis. There's a lot of healing checks in a lot of the dungeons. For sure. Even people have problem with Shadowlands is that they had huge potential, but it was all lost to horrible quality of life. Yeah. They didn't respect time as well, the players' times. Let me see. So Resto Druid, I still liked a lot of the. I still think Resto Druid is fun. I think the rework was semi-okay. I think a lot of the changes didn't really like. I don't think it's all that changed. I think Holy Paladin, most recent changes were in the right direction, and I think Holy Paladin gameplay is actually dare I say kind of fun. I know it's weird. I know it's not allowed to say Holy Paladin is fun, but I thought it was kind of fun. I kind of don't want to do Prez and Mistweaver yet because I want to retest them again. I know this sounds really weird, but I really enjoy Oracle this.
Hope your stream is going
Yo,
well.
Navi, we're plebbing today. There's no. Let me check. We're supposed to be testing Discipline Priest. But the servers, let me see if I can log in. The servers, the instance servers are screwed. Yeah, it's still looking to be fucked, man. It's still looking to be fucked. It's still. And I can't even go to my priest. But Press are leaning more towards phone on phone. I don't know now. I honestly don't know now. I was gonna do disc. Because Oracle Discipline Priest is in Mythic Plus is one of the most brain dead healers right now. The double penances feels really nice. The penances into big wheel and woe stacks into shields feels nice. The Apex talent being someone random is not amazing, but getting Void Shield feels fucking. It feels good getting that proc. You don't have premonitions, which my honest opinion was, or you don't have the cycling premonitions, which in my opinion was, for discipline, it was at least a form of skill expression, because doing dungeons or doing bosses like the Candle King and the War Within and cycling through all the premonitions, chaining them together, making sure you're not overlapping too many buffs at one given time because you know it's a continuous fight, making sure you always had some sort of a cooldown available, was a big form of skill expression. Like, for sure. but on the flip side, premonitions are kind of also clunky. I also really hated Wheel and Woe having smite component in it, where you press your penance and your shield is on cooldown, and you're like, I better press something else than smite because I'm gonna consume it, right? So even though Disc Priest, specifically Oracle Discipline Priest, because I prefer Oracle over Void Weaver, even though Void Weaver is basically just all about your like mind blasts and making sure you have windows where you have cooldowns when shit hits the fan or whatever. I always thought that was a bit like brain dead. I always thought Void Weaver Discipline Priest was like, your single target healing is your AoE healing. It didn't work it's not always like that. Like, I have to retest it again to see how it feels. But like, Void Weaver just always felt like no matter what is happening in a group, you're just pressing the same kind of combination of buttons, which I was like, whatever. But I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that unfun. I think it's still fun, right? There's something about big shields that I really like. There's something about big shields that I really like. Yeah, but the problem is like the tuning for Oracle Discipline Priest. Like, I've seen people complaining that the atonement nerves sometimes means that you might be using your penances more defensively on people rather than to be DPS. And like, I need to retest it to see it. But I actually really like the simplicity of Oracle Discipline Priest. I don't know why. But I actually really like how Oracle Discipline Priest plays with double penances and with just the stupid shields and with the procs that you get for bigger shields. And it's so fucking simple. I don't know where to place it. I don't know where to place it. This is specifically for Oracle. This is fun. This is fun. But I mean, it's probably not even far off the thing. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. There's something about Oracle Discipline Priest that just feels. I don't know, man. Is it the most fun? Is it my most fun? It's definitely in here. It's definitely in here. I just don't know if it's the most fun. Keep in mind, I've not retested the latest changes. I can't decide. I can't decide. I can't decide where I place it. I can't decide that. Russell Ring, top base criminal. What, it should be higher or lower, in your opinion? I like the rest of Druid, but I honestly feel like I'm going to. I honestly feel like I'm going to. I think I'm actually going to put Druid behind. I think I'm gonna put it like this. Because whilst like what I used to love about Wrestle Druid is like the kitty weaving. You don't even need to kitty weave, right? You don't even need to do the kid weaving or shit like that. Man, this is fucking tough. This is tough. I can't separate them. This is what I mean, as in like I think Oracle Dispriest might be one of my favorites so far. By a tiny margin. It's so brain dead, but it's also so fun to do big shields. And I know I'm being a hypocrite here about Void Shield being random proc. But it procs quite often, and when you get it, it does feel like, ooh, 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 ooh. I get this little like, ooh, that's cool, Void Shield. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I think all of these are fun. I think all of this is fun, man. I need to retest this. Let me know when the stupid ass servers are gonna come back, man. This is nonsense. I think I'm gonna stick with this one. Put press on D. Nah. Holy Paladin, greater than this, greater than Druid for me right now. Evoker got a temper, anomaly bot on pre-patch, can't really tell. Mistweaver is lost. Mistweaver, I kind of want to retest Mistweaver and press because it's been a while since I played them with some of the new changes. Well, I mean, press didn't really get a whole new changes. Mistweaver, I want to retest some of the new builds, so I really don't want to rank Mistweaver yet. I want to retest some of the builds for Misty Boy. Because they also buffed your ancient teachings as well. They also buffed your ancient teachings, so I feel like I kind of want to do it. I also like the Shalon's gift. To be honest, I like Mistweaver will definitely be somewhere in the top end for me. But I don't know if it's gonna be in the top. Like I like using Manatee with let me log in so I can explain it better. I like using Manatee to empower your Shalons. I think that's an interesting concept. Oh, it's gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be. Oh, actually, it's not all over the place. Am I using, is this LVUI setup? This is the LVUI setup. To be honest, it all depends for kitty weaving for me. I will just leave it for the time being. I need to sleep on it. I need to sleep on it. Sleep on it, baby. Sleep on it, baby. I like pressing. I like using Manatee because of Tranquility talent. I like using. You have so many cooldowns to chain as a Mistweaver, and I like doing that. I like using Manatee, getting more stacks, using my Shalons for that. Revival feels stronger in Mythic Plus. I mean, it does feel like it's been made stronger for a little while now. Red Crane doesn't feel all that big, but I mean, you don't have to do the stacks with Red Crane anymore. You just get instant cast envelopings anyway. I definitely feel like Conduit is the way to go right now. I definitely think Blizzard has dropped the ball on Master of Harmony. If I were to guess, I think in terms of the priority, of fixing issues and bugs, I genuinely think Blizzard doesn't know what or care what to do with Master of Harmony for Mistweaver. I think it's so low in terms of the list of priorities for them that it might get fixed, it might become good, there might be some issues. I think it's like all over the place for Master of Harmony. But I like this whole gameplay of cycling these cooldowns. Having Shalons as a cooldown if you use your Mana Tea properly. I was actually having a really good time with, I don't know what this talent build is, don't look at this talent build. I had a good time with Dance of Chi testing early on. Getting a proc here and pressing your spinning Great Cake was actually really fucking fun. I thought that was actually really kind of fun. I think the Apex sounds are kind of relatively interesting because it's a random proc and it's also a guaranteed proc. Random and guaranteed proc, right? I had a decent fun with Monk because I like that Monk. Monk is basically, if you really think about it, Monk is the only healer right now that could be considered as a true melee healer. It's the only healer right now that could be considered as a true melee healer if you end up running that Jadefire Teachings build, if you end up running that Way of the Crane. You're the only healer. Like Paladin is no longer a melee healer. Let's be completely honest. Sure, if you play Avenging Crusader and stuff like that, but it's not the same. It's not really the same. So this is the only option. Like if someone tells me like, "Yo, bro, I love being melee. I'm looking to play a melee healer for the first time." There's only one suggestion that I would say for like Mythic Plus. It would be Monk. So it serves a purpose. Like Mistweaver and Monk serve, and they recently both Ancient Teachings as well. So they want Ancient Teachings to be a thing. So it serves a specific purpose for players who like a specific gameplay. If they want to pleb it out. You don't have to anymore. We're going back to the old days, Upwelling and Jade Healing. Is that for Mythic Plus or Raid? They also buffed Jade Empowerment. So I need to try that out as well. Oh, beta is coming offline to just some memory issues with the client. We'll be back in like 2 hours. Beta servers are down. Because like Mistweaver Monk always had different playstyles for Mythic Plus and Raid. In Raid, you would have... In Raid, there was definitely more times where you play a more, let's say, ranged build. But in Mythic Plus, there was always... In Mythic Plus, it always came down to like the good old Jadefire Teachings. The good old Jadefire. The good old plebiness. Servers are shutting down, bro. Holy Paladin will be forced to melee because of the Shield of the Righteous. Yeah, but it's not the end of the world. Like, you're not gonna kill yourself to go into melee to press Shield of the Righteous. There's a difference between, like, actually doing healing through your damage and having to step into melee to press Shield of the Righteous so you get some mana back. I mean, it does reduce the cooldown of Holy Shock, but you know what I mean. It's not the same. It's not the same. Or if you're playing Avenging Crusader, it's exactly the same. But we'll have to see if Avenging Crusader is going to be the way to pleb out. It's going to be the way to pleb out. Holy Paladin with Shield Righteous can be played mid-range, step in and step out. Like this is what I mean. Like Holy Paladin is no longer a melee. Let's take that band-aid off. Holy Paladin is no longer a melee. It counts as a melee. There's a couple of reasons to step into melee, but it's not really required anymore. Like it's not. You could probably even play Crusader. You could probably even play Avenger Crusader, melee wings, and just use the judgment portion of healing, and still be probably okay-ish, right? So like Mistweaver is like. I don't know if I would. I don't want to place Mistweaver. I don't want to place Mistweaver yet. I need to retest Mistweaver. I need to retest Prez. But Prez would probably be a bit lower, right? And I mean, Meritor's Blessing wasn't doing a whole lot. I do kind of miss Spirit Bloom a little bit. I need to retest like the problem with Preservation is that I need to retest like Flame Shaper, Emerald Blossoms type of gameplay. I want to retest more Emerald Blossoms things. But I can tell you this right now. If you are playing Chrono Warden Prez and you have Reverberation, and Reverberation gives you Verdant Embrace applies a hot on people, and it also can be echoed. Lifeline can't be echoed. Reverberation can't be echoed. If you're playing that gameplay and if you're running double Verdant Embrace, talents, and you're trying to optimize Livebind and everything, and you're shooting from one person to another person, then you're like the literal Giga Chad of like World of Warcraft. That gameplay is fucking insane. Like if you're trying to, because in order to apply Livebind on a person, you kind of have to jump on them. You can't echo it. In order to apply Reverberation, you can just echo it, right? Where's the fucking talents? Oh, yeah, I only have 15 minutes to show this because the servers are going down. Because if you have this talent, you can do a good amount of healing from this one as well. And the double, and if you're not running Dream, and if you're running the double, because there's so in pre-patch there isn't a lot of need to run. There's not a lot of need to run that, because you have to remember in beta you have the tier set, and tier set is all about Verdant Embraces and Iron Blossoms and stuff like that. I think the double Verdant Embrace build, where you have to jump from target to target, I personally find that, okay, I find it really fun. I find it really fun, jumping from person to person, but I also at the same time can find it extremely infuriating, because you can legit so easily die from that. And it just feels like a lot of the times, this is what my gripe with Press Evoker. It feels like I'm putting in more effort than any of these brain dead healers. Okay, I shouldn't have Rest of Druid. I'm putting in so much more effort than so many of these brain dead healers, and I'm not getting what I'm supposed to get out of it in return. This is purely talking about the double Verdant Embrace. Reverberation playstyle. I don't know what the playstyle is going to be like. Maybe you're just gonna play Dream. Maybe you're just gonna play Flame Shaper, and it's going to be a lot easier, right? It's going to be a lot easier. I'm specifically talking about this whole jumping gameplay that you could do, and people were doing it, and I was doing it for a portion of the beta. I'm not sure what the playstyle is going to look like in the future, though. But that gameplay is insane. Like in terms of difficulty, in terms of like jumping from person to person and stuff like that, compared to the fact that most of the healers are so much easier right now, that playstyle was quite difficult. But I don't want to rank it right now because I need to retest Flame Shaper, Emerald Blossoms and stuff like that. I still think Blizzard's idea of Evoker spot healing being like golden hour golden hour echoing. I don't think that's fun. Like I know like everyone's like, oh, if you want to do more spot healing, press Evoker, just apply echoes on them, and then just like wait for them to take damage, and then golden hour is gonna do the rest of it and stuff like that. I don't know if that's that fun. I don't know. I haven't decided if that's that fun for spot healing. But I mean, Word in the Brace is basically they're trying to give you that as a spot heal. I don't know. I don't know. I'm very undecided on Prez, and I'm somewhat undecided on Mistweaver. I don't know. Devote time to one tune on my healings expansion, which one to suggest for Raid and Mythic, Tune, Resto Druid, Holy Paladin. I don't know about the Raid can be anything. Honestly, for Mythic Plus, I think Resto Druid is probably still the S tier healer in Mythic Plus in terms of power. And in terms of raid buffs, but I don't think other healers are that far off. I don't know where I would place Press Evoker. I need to retest Press Evoker again. The Flame Shaper build. I think Flame Shaper. I think if you're playing something like Flame Shaper, with like Dream Simulacrum, I can't even say that properly. If you're playing Flame Shaper with this talent, I think it's a lot easier. You still have to, like, you still have range limitations, right? You still can't dispel people longer than 30 yards and stuff like that. People still not standing in front of you or whatever. Obviously you can echo your abilities, which is great, but you know, you still have to play around the group. I think my biggest gripe with Press Evoker, specifically in Mythic Plus, is that a lot of the times effort does not equal the reward. Especially now. I think that's where I'm falling into it. But that's to do with power, not fun. I actually will tell you this. My fun of Preservation Evoker is also diminished because of raid frames. I tell you this right. This has nothing to do with the spec. This has nothing to do with the class. This is purely to do with unit frames. So let's say if I was playing Chrono Warden, if I was playing a Juicer Chrono Warden, and I have some insane, and I want to, let's say this is a raid, and I want to apply echoes. Let's say this is a raid, and I want to apply echoes. Oh, my keybinds are off. I can't even, my keybinds and everything's off. My keybinds are, let's just play as playing a raid, and I have 20 people, and I want to apply some echoes, and I need to differentiate which person has echoes and which person doesn't have echoes. And I have this screen, of all the HOTS and all the things. And I need to differentiate which person has echo so I can't override it. So I don't want to override the echo and I can do it on something. They actually fixed... So Blizzard did remove Temporal Anomaly from the raid. You can't see Temporal Anomaly in the buffs anymore, which is honestly a start. But I think it makes it so annoying to try and manually apply a strong echo on a person in raid environment when you can't, for example, change the color of the frame to show, like what I do in retail before midnight, I would change the frame to be showing up as yellow. So I would know that person has echo on them. So when I'm applying echoes, I would know that person has it. For Engulf, I used to change the color of the frame to different color when people had Dream Breath, because you would have to use Engulf on people that had Dream Breath. Obviously, that's a little bit different now because you don't have Engulf and stuff like that. It's more to do with your Verdant Embraces and Emerald Blossoms now. Verdant Embrace healing consumes 4 seconds of Dream Breath from its allies. Emerald Blossom healing consumes 2. So you still want to track, the people that have Dream Breath. It's just, I feel like the Preservation is actually one of the healers that suffered the most from the UI changes, man. I honestly feel like my Prez enjoyment has diminished because of the UI stuff. And that's actually really sad to say, man. Hmm. 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 I was wondering if you don't mind showing real quick how to heal as a Mythic Mythical's first time making one. The thing is going to expire in 3 minutes. The thing is going to expire in 3 minutes. I'm going to end the stream in like 3 minutes because the beta is going down in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It's going to come back up in like 2 hours. It's going to come back in 2 hours, which is just too long. It's just too long, man. It's just unfortunate. I was meant to test discipline and I didn't get to test it, and it's like, don't get me wrong, like when I say specs are brain dead and stuff, I don't mean that in a bad way. You have to remember this. I don't mind the simplification of healers. I know there's a lot of people who hate the simplification of healers. I don't mind it. I can see why they did some of the things in terms of simplification, and I actually believe that some of the most fun times I've had with certain healers was when they were the most simple. I don't agree with, like, I feel like some of the simplification that was done could have been done better. Specifically for me, for Resto Shaman, I would have liked Cloudburst Totem to be an option and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people hate Cloudburst Totem, so it's like, it's their prerogatives and stuff like that. But I don't hate the simplification. I don't mind. Like, I like how Holy Paladin plays, and it's fucking brain dead. Like I literally said, Oracle Discipline Priest is one of my most fun healers right now when it comes to Mythic Plus, and it's probably the easiest healer to play. But there's something about having double penances. There's something about getting increasing wheel and roll stacks, putting a big shield on a person, pressing penance, getting a proc from Void Shield, putting strong shields on multiple people. There's something about it that I really like. I like the whole absorb thing. Like, Discipline Priest in Mythic Plus is really fucking easy. Like, really easy. You don't even have premonitions anymore. And I still think, and for some reason, it's like, it's really appealing to me. It's really appealing for me. Like, in hindsight, maybe it shouldn't be. In hindsight, maybe it shouldn't be, right? Maybe you'll be like, oh, it's too easy or whatever, but I kind of really like it. I kind of really like it, man. This game into specification compared to Press for me? Oh, dude, it's like, that's the thing. Press is like just a lot harder. What do you think about Shaman? What do you think about Shaman apart from the cooldown? Wait, what do you mean? The server's down. I'm not gonna rank. I'm gonna rank Prez and Mistweaver later because I honestly think like my enjoyment of Prez has gone down, not because of the class, but not specifically to the class, but I also think Druid and both Prez are most impacted by the filtering and raid frames, and I think that's actually put me off a little bit as well. I think Mistweaver would be somewhere in here. I think Mistweaver at the very least would be somewhere in here. Dude, Holy Priest is not even that. Holy Priest with Prayer of Healing and Archon Holy Priest is actually kind of fun, okay? It's actually kind of fun. I'm actually not even hating on it, honestly. I'm not actually even hating on it. I'm not actually even hating on it. You know what? Totemic full melee squad, double Cloudburst, Resto Shaman is actually really satisfying to play. is actually really satisfying to play. People hate on Wrestle Shaman because of the Cloudburst. I really do miss Cloudburst. And I really don't think that the gameplay The problem with Wrestle Shaman is that Blizzard is trying to make Chain Heal a thing now. And we have to see if that's going to be a thing or not. This is not a Mythic Plus Read, boys. This is fun. Stop it. Fucking people see a tier list is like, oh my god, Wrestle Drew got nerfed that much. Stop, dude. Stop. This is fun. This is a fun tier list. I don't know what to place. I can't even place it here anymore. I don't know what to place versus Shaman. And I need to retest Holy Priest a bit more. I need to retest these two healers. These three healers. Some players hate the class because one told them was going. I don't hate Wrestle Shaman at all. I don't hate Wrestle Shaman. I think Wrestle Shaman is still. I know people are gonna say it's really boring, but I actually really liked the totemic full melee squad double downpour build. What everyone was playing was the Farseer build with Whispering Waves, where you're just pressing Riptide and Healing Wave over and over again. And then you're pressing your Shadow Swiftness and Unleash Life to proc your ancestors. And then he would also proc your Stormstream Totem. And then he would just repeat. But I also think that Wrestle Shaman having an interrupt is something that I really like. So I actually really like the Wrestle Shaman as an interrupt. It gives you an additional thing to do, right? It gives you an additional thing to pay attention to. And I think that adds additional plebiness, right? I think I would have to redo this. Yo, we'll see how they do today. Oh. Wrestle Shaman higher than Wrestle Druid. In fun from I'm trying to think if I have more fun with Wrestle Shaman than Wrestle Druid. You have to remember that like you don't have to do kitty weaving as Wrestle Druid because your damage is fucking dog shit anyways. And that was one of the things that I really liked about it. That was really one of the things that I really liked about Wrestle Druid. But I think Wrestle Druid would probably still I think it would still be here. I still like it. The thing is that tons of people like I like don't get me wrong, I miss Cloudburst Totem, but there's like tons of people who played Totemic Wrestle Shaman in the War Within Season 2. You played without Cloudburst Totem. And the Wrestle Shaman was the most popular healer at that point. Like I think people are a bit undervaluing how many people like easy specs. Like people talk like I'm myself included talk about how Wrestle Shaman like I love to have Cloudburst Totem back. Wrestle Shaman in Season 2 of the War Within, when Discipline Priest was dominating, Wrestle Shaman was the second most popular. Sorry, it was the second most popular healer in high-end Mythic Plus keys, and it was running Totemic build without Cloudburst Totem. It was a brain dead easy
passive healing build where you would be able, you would play a melee comp, everyone would gather around your totem, they get healed, and then you would focus on all other things in terms of interrupting and stuff like that. That was the most played healer in terms of overall Mythic Plus dungeons in World of Warcraft. It was the most played healer. Yo, Angels, how we doing? It was the most played healer. Like, I think people are undervaluing how many people are gonna play Resto Shaman. Especially like if Totemic is gonna be a thing, we'll have to see if the melee comp is going to be a thing. I just can't decide if I would place it somewhere here. Probably. It is boring to play. It is a little bit boring to play. But like, what's the difference between Resto Shaman rotation and something like Discipline Priest rotation or Holy Paladin, Herald of the Sun rotation? Like, tell me, what's the difference in terms of simplification, in terms of like, you never played a healer before, or you never played Resto Shaman previous versions before. What's the difference between Oracle Discipline Priest, Herald of the Sun Holy Paladin, and Resto Shaman in terms of Mythic Plus? It's fucking three, all of those are 3-button specs. To some extent. You know what I mean? I need to sleep on this. Disregard this whole tier list for the fun. Disregard this whole tier list for the fun. I can't decide. I can't separate it, man. I'm never gonna decide on the main character. It's over. I'm never, dude. I'm thinking out loud here. I could honestly put Prez even higher. I had fun with Prez. I could honestly put, well, I placed Holy Priest as high as he can be right now. I'll never decide what healer to play. I don't know, man. I'm sad that Cloudburst Totem is gone. I'm having really fun time with Farseer and Mythic Plus. Farseer can be fun. I love Chain Heal build. Is Druid still proactive? It is. If you knew you were going to heal a bear tank, which healer would you pair it with? I would not pick a healer based on tank and healer combo. I think tank and healer combos are extremely overrated. I would not play a healer that you don't like because it pairs better with a certain tank. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely synergies, like Brewmaster with Druid is like really beautiful, or Brewmaster with Prez Evoker and Golden Hour is actually really nice. But I would not pick a healer based on that. I think it's overrated. Like I said before, like I don't hate a single healer out there. I enjoy most of them. Like that's the thing. I can't even separate them like in different sections. I can't even separate them in different sections. And I always had a soft spot for Shaman. There you go. It's finished. The most fun healers for Mythic Plus in Midnight. The only list you need. The only list you need, guys. The one and the best list in the whole thing. Oh boy. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I can't separate. I honestly can't separate it. I probably would. Like, I probably would place some of the healers maybe in B tier, but the difference is not that big. The difference is not that big. I honestly, every healer has certain appeals and certain things that I like and certain things I don't like. I might, like, weirdly enough, there's something about Oracle Discipline Priest that I like. That's like it has a little edge. Like every time I log in, I'm like, I kind of want to do those big shields. I think Holy Paladin, I think the current Holy Paladin gameplay is really fun. I think both of the hero builds are kind of fun. Mistweaver, I need to recheck again. But the fact that Mistweaver might be the only true melee healer, like real melee healer, like real, like stay in melee so you actually do healing. I think that's something that can be fun as well and appeal to certain people. Resto Druid, I said that like Resto Druid could have been higher in my list, but I feel like one of the most fun aspects for me playing Resto Druid was applying hots, applying bleeds, applying dots, and the skill ceiling between doing kitty weaving and not doing kitty weaving. I really like that skill expression. I honestly believe you could play Resto Druid right now with Wildstalker Resto Druid without ever going into kitty weaving, because healer damage is dog shit. It feels like why should I even go into cat form? And I kind of miss that call to action. I miss that call to action with it, but I still think Resto Druid is fun. Resto Shaman, I think I'm still having fun with Resto Shaman. I miss Cloudburst Totem. People don't talk enough about having an interrupt. Having an interrupt as the only healer having an interrupt adds immense fun for me. Immense fun. Because I can track, all of a sudden it's like I'm tracking shit on nameplates and making sure that I interrupt something that could wipe the party or be really bad for the party. That adds immense fun for me. Like anytime that I'm not playing Resto Shaman, I'm hovering over the keybind that I use for interrupt, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. You don't have an interrupt. 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 Like, I think people, like, for me personally, I think having an interrupt is really fucking nice. Really nice. I do miss Cloudburst Totem. I think Blizzard is still trying to... I think Blizzard, in my opinion, is trying to make Healing Rain wordcast. I think they're trying to make Healing Rain a thing for Farseer. I think they're trying to make Chain Heal a more usable ability. They removed Whispering Waves. They changed your Ascendant so it doesn't apply Riptides on people. So they're trying to remove a lot of the synergies you would have between applying Riptides through Ascendance or manually, and then pressing Healing Wave, and then Healing Wave just being so powerful because of all the little talents that you have in Whispering Waves. So they're trying to remove all that interaction, in my opinion, to try and give you an interaction where you might be more about like Riptide, Healing Wave, Chain Heal. You're making those 3 decisions. Is that gonna happen? We'll see. We'll see. But the interrupt is really fun. Preservation Evoker, I need to retest again. I need to see what is one of the most popular builds. But like I said before, if Pres Evoker is going to play, like if Chrono Warden with double Verdant Embrace is going to be a thing, where you have to jump from target to target, apply life binds, apply reverberations and all that. If that's going to be a thing, that's probably the hardest healer. That will probably be the hardest healer in the game to really min-max everything. Because jumping from targets to targets to heal them, if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna die 20 times in a dungeon. Like, I'm not even kidding. And Holy Priest, I've been shitting on Holy Priest the whole time, because rightly so, because they probably lost. They were already super easy healer, and for the longest time, you would literally play. You would lose your Sanctify. Which one was it? Sanctify or Serenity? Serenity was the... You would lose your Holy Word spell for the AoE, and you would merge that into your... Serenity. You would have your Serenity, but your Sanctify would be merged into Serenity, into Serenity, and you would have Holy Word Serenity and Flash Heal as your main heals. Your Apex talents did not work for most of the beta testing, and your Apex talents would literally just fucking do fuck all, and it felt so fucking dog shit. The gameplay was legitimately like, I don't know how anyone would like that gameplay. I know I'm kind of hypocritical, but holy shit. Like Prayer of Mending, I was playing Oracle, and there's no way you can tell me that Prayer of Mending is a fun ability to press, or how do I say, a skillful ability to press. There is just no way. There is no way. So for the longest time in beta, you play this Oracle, Holy Priest, Prayer Mendings, emphasis on Prayer Mending, even though the ability is not all that fun to press, and all your healing would come from Serenity and Flash Shields, and that's literally it. You don't even have half of your instant cast abilities. You don't have premonitions, you don't have anything. Even premonition is whatever. But with some of the changes and stuff like that, trying out Archon with Halo, with Prayer of Healing, there's also synergy with Prayer of Healing and Archon. What's the ability called in the Archon tree? I can't even log in to double check it. Where your Surge of Lights also work with Prayer of Healing. Trying out Lightweaver, using Prayer of Healing, I think is way more fucking fun. I think just the addition of Prayer of Healing and having some additional synergy with Prayer of Healing makes the spec way more fun, because it needs it. It needs it. It needs an additional something. So I'm actually gonna retest Holy Priest. I'm actually gonna retest the Holy Priest thing, and I think it's going to be a lot more fun. I'm gonna retest Archon Holy Priest, and I think it's going to be a lot more fun.
You're not using your new lock?
No, it was too bright for me. I need to double check it.
Really? You
Yeah.
couldn't lower it on your phone?
I didn't check it. I'm gonna do it later on. I'm nearly finished, Mouse.
Are you sure you don't want it?
Because the beta servers are down.
You sure you don't want to use it now?
I'll set it up now, Mouse.
That's alright.
I'll set it up. So I'm actually looking forward to try out Holy Priest. Because I've not tried out fully Archon Holy Priest. Archon Holy Priest with Prayer of Healing. I've not tried this out. So my assumption is that it's going to be feeling a lot more fun. That's my assumption.
Look what I have.
Ooh, little belly. Can you see the cat?
Oh, look at that belly. He's as cute as a patty. Oh, look in the camera. Wait, I'm gonna show him the other side. She's gonna get angry. Look at this. She's just a baby.
Feral Druids are back. Okay, I'm gonna end this soon, Mouse. I can't be waffling. I can't be waffling all the time, and the servers are down and stuff. Very unfortunate stream, man. Take this whole thing with the whole fun thing with pinch of salt, man. Everyone's gonna have a different. This is just fun. Everyone's gonna have a different opinions and stuff like that. Like I said, at the end of the day, I just end up putting them all into one line. And I'm excited. I'm excited to try out Holy Priest. I'm excited to try out Holy Priest again, and I want to test out Oracle Discipline Priest, because I think Oracle Discipline Priest was actually, for some reason, I'm actually really enjoying Oracle Discipline Priest. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I think it's the boomer mentality in me, dude. I just want those big shields. I'm gonna end the stream because I don't think I can yap for 2 hours when the beta servers are gonna come up. This is the retail servers. I don't think I can yap for 2 hours and pleb out. I'm probably just gonna retest Discipline Priest tomorrow or Sunday. I'm gonna retest Discipline Priest
tomorrow or Sunday, because today was kind of a wash. It was kind of a wash, and hopefully the beta servers are gonna be fixed by. They should be fixed by the weekend, so we can retest more stuff and I can update them. I'll do a most fun tier list when I'm more sure. More sure, because right now it's very hard for me to separate. I like all the healers, man. I really do. I like all the healers. Actually like all the healers. And it's a curse. Take it easy, boys and girls. Oh, you see this guy. Take it easy, boys and girls. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. And I think the Olympic ceremony is going to start soon if you're into that. Winter Olympic ceremony, if people want to watch that. I don't know how people can watch it, but something to do. Something to do. Take it easy, boys and girls. Bye 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 bye.